practiced outside. It was windy. Like Thursday was as windy as it was today. Now, we didn't have the rain, but so those 2 days, just watching him in the elements, throw it like he was, like we'll be fine. And so we trust the heck out of him, you know, and you know, it worked out good for us. I hate it when you guys do that. You know, it's like somebody just finds something, then all of a sudden, what happens when it's incomplete? And I'm like, oh.
Just that connection that goes.
You just keep that to yourself. Yeah, the connection between those two, it's special. Those two have been clicking now for 4 years, really 3.5. You know, it started about halfway through that 21 season, and it's built from there. And, you know, if you're a quarterback, we got a dang good one, but it's easy to throw to a guy like St. Brown because he gets open and he's got body control balance. He can separate. He's got quickness. He's got play speed, strong hands, and his body demeanor tells you, man, if I'm a quarterback, you got a real good idea what he's doing. And they've done it long enough to where they can think without speaking. So, you know, they know each other's what they're getting ready to do and all that. So it's special, and, you know, they make each other better. Yeah, look, AG, it's one of the things we talk about. There's an emphasis to it, and certainly you got to be able to take away the run game. And then once you get down there in tighter quarters, man, it's about helping each other out. You play a little bit of man. You got to be able to cut and help, and the next guy's got to replace, which takes away the window the quarterback may think he's getting. So we've been pretty good about that. We've put a lot of work into that, and so we're doing a good job of limiting those points. You know, we're keeping people from getting 7 back there. And look, that was one of the biggest differences in the game, man. We didn't allow them to score down there because you're right, they got down there 3 different times. So it's a great job by a number of guys across the board.
Well, it's the last one. First time you guys have played a game in these types of conditions this year. How valuable is it to kind of keep winning under new circumstances at the game where
Yeah, anytime you win, you learn something from it, and you get better at winning. You know, you learn. And, you know, the hard thing is about winning, you learn those things. You got to continue to learn, but you can't brush over the things that you're not doing well. Just because you got to win, you got to make sure that, you know, we're identifying those things we got to get cleaned up because we'll get exposed. And there's things all over this tape. I mean, there's things that, you know, we got to clean up in a hurry across the board. And we will. You know, we will. But I know this. I'm not shocked one bit that we came out here and played pretty good football out in the elements. That we're built for this, man. And it doesn't matter. And just because we play indoors, it doesn't matter, man. We can play anywhere. We can play in the snow. We can play in the rain. We can play in the mud. That's just us. And we're built to win, man.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Being the starting quarterback for the Lions, moving out here to Detroit, what's the first thing you learned about car insurance?
Yeah, I learned it's a challenge, and I'm curious what brought you to Michigan.
We were a big part of the new reform laws that were passed in 2019, went into effect in 2021. So it gave us an opportunity to give affordable rates to people in Michigan that they've been starving for years.
Amazing. Anything else?
Yeah. Go Lions.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to Cure.com to see how you can save. Detroit Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown paced all Lions receivers today with 56 yards, good for 7 targets, and he became the fastest Detroit Lion to reach 4,000 career receiving yards today. Doesn't that sound great?
Danny, it's just unbelievable. Again, I always go back to we had the great Herman Moore, the great Calvin Johnson, and he's shattering their records. This is unbelievable, man. Kudos to Amon-Ra because he works hard.
What kind of urgency have you seen from Amon-Ra since he came into the league in 2021?
You've seen the guy that's been willing to get better, that's been willing to put the time into his craft so he could be one of the best in the game. And you could tell he's striving drive, and I think his goal is to be the best receiver to play this game. And he works that way. He goes out there and performs that way. So, it's just nothing that young man can't do if he puts his mind to it, because he has that work ethic to get it done.
Those 7 receptions are a part of 30 consecutive catches from Amon-Ra from his quarterback, Jared Goff. So Goff has completed 30 consecutive throws to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Consistent target who just keeps crushing those numbers. And Amon-Ra's 6th straight game with a touchdown. That first touchdown for him coming today in the second quarter on 4th and 3. 3-yard catch. And it was an impressive catch as well. He had to extend, get the toes in, and he got it done.
He sure did. That was a beautiful catch. And the toe tap, and he's a master at it, man. Again, I know Jared has to feel so great having a guy like him, a guy that you could rely on. Like I always say, that security blanket. Don't forget, on that crucial 3rd down late in the game, guess who he went to? Amon-Ra. So the chemistry is great between those two.
Running back David Montgomery was the second leading receiver here on the team today, but he was getting it done in the run game as well. A duo of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery cannot be stopped. Montgomery, 73 rushing yards on 17 carries today, average of 4.3 rushing yards per carry. David Montgomery he took that entire first quarter for these Detroit Lions, mainly because they only had one drive. But when Montgomery is out there, what kind of tone is he setting for this offense?
A physical tone, Danny. And that's what, again, I know those guys up front, our offensive linemen, have to appreciate that when you have a physical running back like him behind you, man, that's just such a sense of comfort for those guys. So it's just been great to see his development, too. And he's a guy that you could give the ball to, Danny, and he's going to get those yardage for you. He's falling forward. He's going to make sure he gets the necessary yardage. And there won't be one person bring him down. There's going to be a gang of guys trying to bring him down, because I don't think one person can.
It's really been a good alternation between David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs in the run game. Gibbs was able to also get in on the rush and in the receiving game here today. He also adds a touchdown in the third quarter, coming on 4th and 1, 65 rushing yards for Gibbs today. He and Montgomery just keep proving that they're a consistent bunch. But how different is Gibbs when he's out there compared to Montgomery?
You can look at that, your average, Danny, almost 6 yards per carry. That's the thing that you get from Jahmyr. You get those explosive plays. You get those plays that can go to the house each and every time he touches the ball. So, again, putting up almost 6 yards a carry just in the rush game, and we all know that he can catch the ball. So I think Ben Johnson's philosophy with Jahmyr, get him out in the open, get the ball to him, and let him do what he do.
And that's scoring touchdowns. I got to catch up with Jahmyr Gibbs post-game. Here is what he had to say about this big divisional win on the road.
Ja, a big storyline tonight was that the Detroit Lions have not been weather tested outdoors yet this season. How did the Lions respond tonight?
I think we handled it great. I don't think we had any penalties on offense. This is a crazy, environment. So, kudos to the, whole offense. So, yeah.
Both of the scoring touchdowns came on 4th downs today. When the 3rd down conversions weren't happening, what belief was there that the playmakers like you could get it done on 4th down?
Coaches told us all week that, if we got a chance to go for it, we're going to go for it. We just got to make a play, and, he trusts us to do that. So, yeah, that's really it.
On your third quarter touchdown, you were practically untouched. Panay Sewell blocked about almost the entire defensive line. What tone does that set for this team?
We've been doing it all year. And they're going to continue to do it. The O-line played great the whole season. It's just fun being behind them to make everything easier. So, yeah.
Thanks, John. Quarterback Jared Goff broke out the gloves today in this one with all of that rain and wind. He goes for 18 for 22 on the day, just 145 yards, good enough for one touch.
Yes.
Biggest thing, though, for Goff, he did not turn the ball over one time.
Exactly right, Danny. In these elements, that's a great thing. He was so careful with that ball, opposite of what Jordan Love was doing. He was so careless with that ball. Yeah, even the one play where Jared scrambled to the sideline, didn't have anything. threw it out of bounds, and that's what you do. Live to play another day, and that's what being a veteran is all about. That's what a guy being on the roll. That's what he's doing right now, and it's good to see.
Mm-hmm. Some are calling this a heater for Jared Goff over his last 5 games, throwing perfect first halves. What do you have to say, Lomas?
Well, as I say, hot as fish grease. So they say a heater. I like to use fish grease because that's hot now.
Yeah,
fish grease is hot.
It's very Southern of you to say that, Lomas.
It is. It really is. Isn't it?
How elite is Jared Goff right now?
Danny, no awards. MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. It shouldn't be an offensive award that he isn't at the top of the list, leading that list, or somewhere, up high on those lists. It's just no way, because Jared has been awesome the whole year. You look for consistency. That's what he's given us. You look for excellence. That's what he's given us. He's a leader. He's doing everything that he needs to do to lead this team to a 7-1 record, sitting atop the NFC North. Oh, that sounds so good, doesn't it?
When your quarterback makes touchdowns to incompletions ratio a stat, that's when you know it's pretty darn good.
Great. That's a great point, Danny.
Goff is standing by at the podium now. Let's hear from him.
Mistake-free, pretty much mistake-free football game, and these kind of elements in this environment, just how impressive was that you guys were able again to play complementary football?
Yeah, we really have. We've done it all year, and this was another example of it. I think in those elements, your offense is going to be a little bit different, a little bit limited in some of the down-the-field stuff, and we knew that coming in, and I thought we handled it great. Having no turnovers again is pretty remarkable in that weather, and we've been doing it all year and got to keep doing it. Yep. Yeah, it's really next man up, and like you said, Hutch has been as big a blow as any team's had, and we haven't flinched. Those guys step up. Those guys play well. I think our defense played fantastic again today. They've been really playing well the last handful of weeks, and it's been fun to be on the other side of that and to get short fields and pick six. Like in that weather, I was talking about, like to get a defensive touchdown is huge, and yeah, they've been playing well. Yeah, I heard that. That's pretty crazy, huh? Yeah.
Just that connection is pretty ridiculous.
He's the friendliest target I've ever thrown to, and I'm lucky to play with him, and I hope to play with him for quite some time. And he's a hard worker. He does everything right. I love him. He's great.
How creative was that route you ran on that touchdown?
Yeah, we've worked on that in the past, and something we thought could be good this week. And I thought at the end of the day it was just me and him making a play. Guy covered it actually pretty well, and just put it on his back shoulder. He made a great catch, and his celebration was pretty good too. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It really is. It doesn't. I don't miss that. I don't miss hearing that. Like it's pretty cool. I heard it all, and our fans are awesome, and they came out and showed out again today, and it's a lot of fun to play for a team that has a fan base that travels, and obviously at home what they do for us, but yeah, it was really cool. Yeah.
The fact that you guys haven't played outdoors yet this year, conditions, how valuable is it to keep winning under new circumstances?
Yeah, I'm sure the next time we play outdoors, they'll say that this is the second time they've played outdoors, and write a big old story about that again. And yeah, we're supposed to be the dome team who can't play outside. We're supposed to be the team that can only win one way, and I think we've shown a handful of times we can win in multiple ways. We're chameleons, and whatever it takes to win in whatever way, that's what we're going to do. And I thought our game plan this week on offense, defense, and special teams was outstanding, and we executed it really well. Yeah. Each game is its own battle and its own journey, and I think we've gotten really good at flushing it away, and even if it's a loss, flushing it away quickly and turning over to the next game. And so now it'll be the same, winning and then having to flush this one tomorrow and move on to Houston. And again, like you said, Sunday night at their place, it's going to be rowdy. Our fourth road game out of the last 5, and we've kind of proven that we're built for it.
Jared, you've seen Branch and Joseph since the summer. Just curious from your perspective, what's so difficult
Branch and yeah. They're both really good. Kirby I've been with a year longer, but Kirby's range and his ability to find the ball is pretty special. And then Branch has got to be one of the best man cover safeties in the league. He's as sticky as they come, and great tackler. Obviously has great ball skills as well. They're a great pair of safeties, and we're lucky to have them. Yeah, we did a good job. We really did up front. That was the challenge, I think, to those guys up front was, hey, they're aggressive, they're penetrators. At times in the last couple of years, they've had some good job. They've done some good jobs up front on defense, and I think our guys took that challenge and handled them pretty well today. I thought they did. We really, were able to move them off the ball and protect me pretty well in the pass game, and I was able to sit back there and make the throws. And our O-line is the core of our team, the building block of our team, and they allowed us to do all the things we did on offense today.
A couple more guys.
Probably, yeah. I think last year at times too, and I've just grown so much mentally and physically, obviously. But you just get older, you just start to learn when to take the chances, when not to. And I know I've said this before, but I just feel like I'm playing pretty disciplined and trying to take care of the ball and get in our playmakers' hands. There's a couple I'd like back today where I think I may have had Khalif open and I didn't get back to him as number 2 in the progression. May have had St. Brown open on a third down. I didn't get it to him. So, yeah, those will still, drive me to get better. But taking care of the ball pretty well right now. I'm going to try to keep doing it.
Did you know you were 11 for 11 before you...
Was I?
Did you know you were 11 for 11?
No. No, I did not. No. Almost did what? The first half? Yeah. I did not know that. I should have taken a sack. It probably would have helped.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Kirby Joseph next.
Saint, great game. Is that the best catch you've ever made?
Actually, there was one better.
When? The Chicago game?
Minnesota?
No, getting Cure Auto Insurance.
Are you for real?
Seriously, when I got here in Michigan, car insurance was the worst. But saving up to 40% by switching to Cure was my best catch.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to Cure.com to see how you can save. Welcome back to Detroit Lions Live postgame show. Detroit Lions safety Kirby Joseph's pick 6 just before the half puts him ahead of the leaderboard in terms of interceptions on the season. And Kirby Joseph becomes the first NFL safety in 20 years to have at least 14 INTs through their first 3 career seasons. He is doing things that have not happened in decades. 4 total tackles on the season, but that pick 6, really great timing. He was in the right spot at the right time and had a great extension. He was looking like a receiver out there.
No, he did. I mean, they said they move guys to defensive back because they can't catch. Well, he proved that wrong today. And then it says something for being in the right position all the time. That goes into film study. That goes into knowing tendencies and really putting the work in. And that's what Kirby has done. And he puts himself in position to have success. And you see it time and time, each and every game. And I'm so happy for him that he got his pick 6 today.
This is nothing new for Kirby Joseph inside of Lambeau. We're used to him picking off Aaron Rodgers, and he just keeps powering through, picking off Jordan Love here too in this big divisional matchup. And that pick 6 is the play of the game. It's so good. We want to go back and rewatch it. Right before the half, you see Jordan Love out there. I mean, it's just a couple of hands, raises in the air, and Kirby grabs it.
Yeah, just a terrible decision by Jordan Love. I mean, he should have just took the sack that time, but I'm glad he didn't. He threw it up. Kirby was right there, and that's a great grab too, Danny, because he threw that ball kind of hard. With Kirby being that close, he was able to get up, snag a wet ball, control it, and take it to the house. Just an excellent play.
Well, Kirby Joseph's teammate, Brian Branch, was ejected from this game for unnecessary roughness for helmet-to-helmet contact in college football. You call that targeting. And then Branch picks up the unsportsmanlike penalty after he is disqualified. How did that secondary continue to operate without him?
That's a testimony to them. That's a testimony to Aaron Glenn and the secondary staff. That's a testimony to those guys being resilient and the next man up. Dan Campbell always talks about the next man up. He has to be ready. Kudos to Brandon Joseph for being ready, stepping in the game, and taking Kirby's spot. So it was, taking Brian Branch's spot. It was huge, and it just shows, man, what type of team we have, Danny, because I always say it's not about the first 22 guys on the field. It's about those backup guys that come in just in case of injury or ejection.
Another DB that helped pick up the load was Carlton Davis. 7 total tackles on the day. That's second just behind Jack Campbell. They kept throwing CD3's way. How did he respond?
He responded great. Look, I think he's one of the most physical cornerbacks in this league. He gets up, he challenges guys, he tries to throw them off their route, and I think that's what enables Carlton to have the coverage that he has on these guys. So, man, just so happy what he's been able to do since he's been here, because he brings a sense of leadership back to that young secondary, because we're still pretty young back in our secondary, Danny. So it's great to have a leader like Carlton Davis III back there.
Jack Campbell is a young linebacker who's been able to learn a lot from Alex Anzalone, the veteran on this team so far this season. Jack Campbell led all Detroit defenders with 10 tackles on the day. He's even out there making moves out there and plays on special teams. How did you see Campbell come into his own in a really big road test?
Yeah, this was a really big road test. And, Matt LaFleur, his offense, he throws a lot of misdirection at you. He throws a lot of eye candy at you. And when you're a young player, sometimes you're looking at everything. To me, Jack is really focused in. The game has slowed down for him, and he's making tremendous plays out there. Like you say, he's an asset not only on the defensive side of the ball, but special teams, just to be able to get out there and contribute to the special teams. That just shows the unselfishness of this team.
Jack Campbell also coming up with a big 4th down stop that made Green Bay 2 of 3 on the day on 4th downs. All right, next up, Detroit is not going home back to Ford Field just yet. They're heading down south, Texas again, to take on Houston. They've been banged up with injuries so far. C.J. Stroud is trying to lead that core. What have you seen from Texans, and what do you need to see from the Lions when they go down there?
Yeah, Danny, they're a beat-up team. They really are. The Texans have had a lot of injuries over the last couple of weeks, but they're an exciting team. They're a team kind of built like us in some similar ways. Good head coaching, good team that's being coached by good coaching. So it's going to be a challenge for us, especially going to their place. We know it gets loud there. They should have the home field advantage, but we've shown that we could go on the road. We'll go anywhere. Like Coach said, we'll go in the parking lot and fight you and play you. So it doesn't matter where we have to go. And Danny, I'm telling you, before the season started, I had Lion fans saying, I'm going to Houston. I think we're going to take over that stadium. It's going to be a home field. Their dome is going to be our home next Sunday.
The Texans squeezed out a 23-20 victory over a Joe Flacco-led Colts here today. So that was a really close one. Final takeaways from this game. Lions moved to 7-1 on the season, pick up another division win on the road, and now they're going to face a really exciting, gritty team like you just mentioned in the Texans.
Danny, I think we're still exercising demons. These young guys, they're helping us older guys. It used to be rough for us to come to Lambeau and win a game, and, man, they're just making it look so easy now. And believe me, as a former Lion, I thank you guys, because anytime we could come here and get a victory, I want it. I want it just as bad as you guys want it. You always show up. That's what this team has done. Like I say, all 3 phases of our team is playing very well right now. I think we're a tough team to stop right now. So we're looking forward to going to Houston, another road game as Road Warriors, coming back with that dub. We're going to eat dubs, Danny. Eat dubs.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Lomas. All right, that wraps up our coverage here from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Detroit Lions going on the road. Had to deal with all of the weather elements, all of the storylines saying Detroit hasn't been able to weather the storm yet outdoors. Well, they proved them very wrong with a very balanced offensive attack. Didn't turn the ball over. Got a turnover with Kirby Joseph's pick 6, and now they're on their way back home to Detroit. but not for long. They'll be on the road taking on those Houston Texans. Coming up next, but for Lomas Brown, Dannie Rogers, so long from Lambeau. We'll see you next week.